Coming up in a few minutes, Rafael Nadal against Tommy Haas in the third round. Let's hear from both players looking ahead to this third round match.
Tommy Haas. Tommy, your previous round, your score was 1-2-1. You're obviously in great shape.
Yeah, I felt pretty good. You know, it was different times 2 days ago, so looking for the match tonight.
Have a great match.
Thank you.
And our number one seed, world number one from Spain, Rafael Nadal, about to make his way through for this third round match. On his way now. Rafa, first 2 rounds for you, both straight sets win, so a great start to the Australian Open.
Yes, I started well, but you know, Tommy Haas is a big player. Going to be the first very big match, and I know we're going to be a very tough match, but I'm going to try my best.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Rafael Nadal, world number one, seeded 1. He's never been in the final, and tonight he's got a third round clash with Germany's Tommy Haas. We're watching Star Sports, and this is another big evening of tennis from the Australian Open. And Vijay, you've been on the spot, and you've said that Tommy Haas, as dangerous as he can be, he's not going to take a set tonight off the Spaniard.
I don't think so, Alan, simply because if you look at the matchups and their styles of play, one, of course, Haas has to serve extremely well, but at the same time he's got a single-handed backhand, which means he's going to be hard-pressed to play the high-bouncing balls of the Rafa forehand cross-court, and for him to do any damage from up there, which is going to be well above shoulder height. And, you know, you need a good two-hander up the line to be able to hurt Nadal to some extent, which Murray has, Djokovic has, and Federer has been quite stubborn against Nadal in trying to come over that ball rather than playing that magnificent slice that he has. Remains to be seen whether he will do it should they both get to the final. But Tommy Haas will certainly fancy his chances tonight. Coming into the match.
Well, Tommy Haas missed last year's tournament. He was recovering from surgery to his right shoulder. On his last appearance here in 2007, Tommy Haas equalled his best performance, reaching the semi-finals for the third time. We're all set for Nadal against Tommy Haas. Your commentators, Jeff Masters and Peter Donegan.
Tommy Haas to serve.
Has been in imperious form so far in these championships. We're about to find out whether it's going to continue here in Melbourne for a place in the round of 16 in 2009.
He'll want to get away to a quick start here in this match, Nadal. He won't want to give Haas a feeling that he's in the match at any stage. So look for Nadal to really come out of the blocks quickly.
Watch Rafa here. Watch his reaction. He throws his head back. Second point of the match. Still wanted it to go in.
Tommy Haas began his tennis career just at the end of almost the dominance of so many German players like Becker and Stick, Graf. So much was expected and hoped of from Haas, and perhaps hasn't delivered quite as much as was hoped. It's hard to emulate the feats of Becker, Graf, Stick, etc. Haas, let's remember, has been a #2 in the world. Not too shabby.
His first final came back in 1997 at Lyon. His first title in Memphis in 1999. He's won 11 career titles. He's got an uphill battle straight away here. Saving one break point, still one more to come for Nadal to put his imprint on this match straight away.
Yes. Advantage Haas.
It's a forehand that's so hard to read. He has wonderful upper body rotation, and the racket head gets flung at the ball with so much velocity. The ball's on its way before we can really determine where it might be heading.
Kilometres an hour.
Advantage Haas.
Just taking the outside of the line. That's good serving and a good solid game from Tommy Haas after being down 2 break points. Stand up against the might of Nadal will give him plenty of confidence.
Well, it was a very good tactical game as well from Haas. He's very much aware, as we've mentioned, that he can't stay at the back of the court and get into really long rallies with the world #1. So he's going to have to come to the net often, but he's going to have to come to the net when Nadal least expects it. And that means he's going to have to serve and volley sometimes, but again, just erratically, so that Nadal doesn't get into a groove. He's going to have to look to attack off the ground as well, with a great variety of approach shots, some short, some up the middle, because once this man Nadal gets grooved, he just doesn't miss.
green might be out as the colour here at the Australian Open, with the old rebound ace courts replaced by the blue plexi cushion, but it seems that green and shades of it might be the in colour in 2009 with the players. Very uncharacteristic errors for Rafa. Uncle Tony's already getting to work on those fingernails.
Well, it was a good defensive shot from Haas. He stretched wide here, and this puts Nadal in a difficult position, but what a volley. The man is very, very capable at the net. This is a tough volley, full stretch, has to control the racket head, the height, the width. Excellent shot.
Remember, Nadal held 2 break points straight away on the Haas serve. So if Tommy takes these, this would really hurt the #1 player. He's handled very well tonight. What an impressive opening from Tommy Haas.
Haas leads 2 games to 0.
Well, when pushed wide, he came up with that forehand down the line, Haas, to set it up. He said he was going to have to take his chances, go for the lines whenever he gets an opportunity. And he's done that. So, yeah, an excellent start from Haas.
Love 15. Missed it. What a strange shot from Nadal, though. And a short ball, sorry, Peter, and looked as if he was going to hit a drop shot, and then I'm not sure what it was in the end. It was nothing.
Well, he doesn't like that racket, Jeff. Match is just 18 points old, and he's made his way straight over there.
I didn't hear him break a string, but the way he hit that short ball almost suggested he hit it with a broken string, because it was an awful shot. So perhaps I've been unkind to him. Perhaps he broke a string. I didn't see it. And I'm suspecting that might have been what happened.
Thank you. 15-30.
Well, he's an instinctive volleyer, Haas. And he really did well there. Nadal can't believe it. He's going to need to ride a little bit of good fortune here tonight, Haas, if he has any chance. That was good play, plus a little bit of good fortune.
Oh.
15-40.
Nadal got himself into exactly this position in the first game of the match and wasn't able to do anything about it. Well, he simply must here, especially in light of what happened in the game in between.
Good play from Haas. He's got a plan here tonight to hit wide to the Nadal forehand. That opens up the backhand corner. Nadal is much more comfortable backing into his own backhand corner and hit the off forehand. Haas is keen to prevent that from happening. He's going directly wide to the Nadal forehand and then attacking the backhand. Good strategy. No, he's too quick.
Look at that. Look at the reaction there. Unusual to see a reaction like that in the first 3 games of the match. Trying to fire himself up. Break point number 3.
Good play from Haas. He's been consistently going with that shot wide to the Nadal forehand.
Yes.
And that time just mixing it up, going to the backhand. So he's keeping Nadal very much off balance. Going to be beaten every time. If he gets time to get set and has a target, Nadal's too good. This approach shot is not deep enough, not wide enough. Easy pickings for the world number 1.
What he's got to do is come up with something like that on a break point. 4th chance for Rafa.
Nadal.
Some very strong reactions from Nadal there, just trying to get something going. He's been a bit sluggish. As it turns out, it matters not, because we've gone back-to-back breaks and we're on serve in the first set. Haas leading 2-1. A lot of people have been making something of the fact this fortnight that Serena Williams won her titles in 2003, 2005, 2007, so she's due again in 2009. Well, you'd like the progress of Nadal too, with his Australian Open history. He reached the third round here on debut in 2004, and he's got one round better subsequently every time he's been here. Fourth round in 05, didn't play in 06, quarter-final in 07, semi-final in 08. It'd be a good thing for the final this year. Tommy Haas might disagree.
Game Nadal.
Much different looking Rafael Nadal in the fourth game. Late game for him. Haas coming up with
2 games.
A couple of unforced errors. Great night in Melbourne. Great crowds again. At Taos, 15,000 or so in Rod Laver Arena. Roof open to the elements, because there's been no need to close it at any stage so far this week. And the forecast for the next few days is fine again.
Love 15.
You almost get the sense with Rafa that he was not embarrassed but stung by that start, and there's a real steely determination all of a sudden about him.
That's outstanding. Grass stroking from both players.
Love
Haas has
30.
done nothing wrong here. Defense from Nadal. Look at the depth. Pretty good shot from Haas. Deep cross court. Gets knocked off for a winner. One of the difficult things always to bring Nadal forward is it's hard to get a good drop shot going when the ball that he hits is bouncing up with so much spin and so high. And he's also so quick, Nadal. Always gets in there. Has an opportunity to turn a low ball into an attacking option.
Stats tell an interesting tale at the moment. 34 points in the match. 17 of them have been decided with a player at the net. So there's a lot of activity inside the service boxes. Oh, yes. Back-to-back breaks from Nadal. Might have been somewhat of a shaky start, but he's in gear now.
3 games to 2.
By his own lofty standards, he made a couple of interesting decisions early in this match with shot selection, and it just seemed with his reaction, that pump of the fist in just the third game of the match, and a couple of times the shaking of the racket, that maybe he thought that he might have come out there just not quite mentally switched on, but somehow he's been able to find the switch and flick
Ready
it.
for play. Thank you. Seats closed.
In contrast, Tommy Haas, the first couple of games was just middling everything, is now up to 9 unforced errors. Nadal's made 2 and he's got 10 winners.
30 all.
Just doubled his unforced error tally in the space of 2 points. Nadal winning only half of the points when his first serve goes into play just at the moment.
Ground stroke weapon in the sport by a long way. Look where he goes here. He's right in the doubles alley, and again it's the spin that allows him to achieve the angle. He'll go as far as he has to. He doesn't mind how far out of court he goes to set up for that shot. It's brilliant.
Hiccup for Rafael Nadal.
It's 4 games to 2.
But only a momentary one. 4 games to 2. Now, Jeff Masters, I know you've been putting your friend Hawkeye to work just about the respective ground strokes of these players. What can you tell us?
Well, he's hitting at an average speed, Nadal, at 121 k's an hour off the ground. But a clearance of 1.8 metres. Haas, by comparison, slower at 113 k's an hour and only 1.61 metres clearance. So what that means is normally when you hit with a lot of clearance, that means you add more spin, you lose pace. But not so Nadal. He's clearing the net by a considerably greater margin than Haas, so he's adding more spin, but he's also got more pace. That's what makes his ground strokes so good.
Net, second serve.
Now Haas, the one reacting, just a little tap of the racket. Come on, Tommy, try and focus. Ever so focused when he came out, but that unforced error count already up into double figures.
Lost traction, slip. He would have got that otherwise. Not sure he could have done much with it, though. It was a very good volley from Haas. See here, he just loses traction there, and with it, the ability to track it down.
that one.
40-15.
The approach, millimetres from the sideline. You take a deep breath as he's about to hit the passing shot, because you know if you can reach it, he's going to have a crack at getting it by you.
Nadal is challenging the ball. Right side, far sideline. The ball is called in.
Steve Ulrich in the chair from the United States, if you hadn't guessed. Everyone looks to the big screen. There's a mile out.
Well, he's going to have to take his licks on this from time to time, Haas. He has to mix it up. He's got to take a gamble. That was a second serve, served and volleyed. 40-15. He's got a point or so up his sleeve, so it was worth a go. Just sows that little seed of doubt into Nadal's mind as to when he's coming in again next. Got to make those.
Deuce.
Yeah, he's angry. He got the short return. That's what he wanted. And his backhands, his better ground stroke. Got to make those.
From a little tap of the hand on the racket to fully fledged yelling at himself now.
This is again the spin. Haas elected to let that go. He thought it was going long, and then you can see, oh no, it's dropped in again. The revolutions on the ball, pulling it down.
Timely challenge, as it turns out, from Nadal on that 40-15 point.
Net for serve.
Sets up a point for the double break now.
Living dangerously, Haas, but again has to take a chance from time to time. Serves and volleys here on the second serve. Excellent first volley. Still had to make another lunging volley to save it. It's going to take that sort of endeavour to even stay close with Nadal.
Just 173 kilometres an hour, but moving away from Nadal the closer it got to him.
Game Haas.
Good hold from Haas.
New balls.
Looked as though he might have given it away there for a moment. Down a break point, but he comes through. And he had to. He's still down one break. Tommy Haas, the oldest man remaining in the men's draw, and he's up against the best, according to the rankings and the seedings. That's him, Rafa. Fans all around the world of all nationalities. And he's got new balls in hand here. to serve with the advantage of a break in this first set.
Especially at the ends of the court. Thank you.
It was he who was broken first, though.
Had a real opportunity to pass there. He won't be happy with that. Haas. Passing shot went almost up the middle of the court.
And that was living proof. Serves don't have to be quick to be good. That second serve in at just 126 from Nadal. That one was quick. 200 on the button.
30 low.
Doesn't flatten out the serves very often, but this one he does. Almost 100% flat, just a little bit of curl on it. Most of the others he slides or top spins it, primarily slides it from left to right. That takes the pace off the ball, but makes it swing.
$40 low.
No coincidence that Nadal's percentage of points won off first serve rising all the time, up to 60 now.
Game Nadal.
Simple as you like. The love game. Uncle Tony's giving the fingernails a rest for the moment.
Nadal leads 5 games to 3.
You said living dangerously for Haas. Jeff, I suppose he's got to go out there with the mindset of, well, I'm going to have to take the risks. I might get humbled, but I still have to take them anyway.
Oh, it's too good. You can see the ball curl again as he hits around the outside of the ball. The ball curled in from left to right. What's the shot here? He curls it. It's around Haas and then curls back in. Well done.
15 on.
Again, a little bit of a risk, but he knows Nadal likes to move and run around the backhand. It's a way to keep him honest. Not much wrong with the serve. Look where Nadal is. 2 meters wide of the doubles alley. Hits a return within centimeters of the sideline. Outstanding. That's just a gimme.
$15.40.
Rafa's supporters might have been a little bit nervous in the first couple of games of this match, but since then it's been pretty much one-way traffic.
$30.40. Nadal is challenging the call. Right side baseline. Ball is called out.
I don't think he's going to get much joy with this. I think this is long.
He's just trying to get rid of one, maybe.
Nadal with 2 challenges remaining.
Still set point, though. Well done.
This was his strategy early on, Haas, to go wide to the Nadal forehand early, but it's one thing to have a plan, it's another thing to have an opportunity to execute it.
Advantage Haas.
Set points. He's going to make Rafa do it himself.
Nadal leads 5 games to 4.
Tommy Haas certainly coming in with the game plan against Rafael Nadal. It started in brilliant fashion. Hasn't been that ineffective. It's just the brilliance of Nadal at times has overpowered it. And now the Spaniard with the opportunity of closing down this first set, but it's taken a while for him to do it. We're up at 48 minutes already. Second time.
Well, 15 love. He's not just a hitting machine, Nadal. He could tell there that Haas was looking to slow the play down. Haas was deep behind the baseline, looking to keep some depth. So what does Nadal do? He finds a way of sneaking in, taking time away from Haas.
For serve.
Just heard the courtside temperature has gone up from 18 to 19 degrees. I think that might have been a reaction because Tommy Haas changed his shirt during the break, and the female fans have warmed the place up a bit. It's been 21 winners, 5 unforced errors so far in this set from Rafa.
Engage.
50 minutes it takes to bring down the curtain on the first set, one in which Tommy Haas didn't play that badly. Somehow Nadal conspires to win the set anyway.
Now, the first set in 51 minutes. Tommy Haas playing outstanding tennis, but still this great number one. Nadal coming through. Look at the winners, 22-11, 5 unforced errors against 12 from the German, 39 total points won to 28. And even when he came to the net 10 times, he won 8 of those occasions. Rafael Nadal is setting just such a high standard
with his own brand of tennis in Melbourne this year.
Second set.
Second set. Let's go back to Jeff Masters with Peter Donovan.
To success for any of these players is doing what you need to do to get the job done. So Nadal will only get out of his comfort zone or take risks where he thinks it's necessary. So he got the job done there by playing controlled aggression slightly within himself.
Love.
It's a leading edge here, trying to whip up the back of the ball. Got no strings, just edge of frame.
So far this game has been in stark contrast to Tommy Haas's service games in the first set. He was down a break point in every single service game. Doesn't have to worry about it this time, dropping just the one point and making a good start.
Second set.
Plenty of first serves in that game as well from Haas, which makes an enormous difference. The first set, he was 56% success rate, and that's not going to get the job done. He's going to have to rely on a second serve too often. And, at this level, good players clearly will take advantage of that. And he's still making sure those bottles in the right place.
I think someone once asked Rafael Nadal in a media conference, what would happen if a stray ball or something went and knocked your bottles over? Would it throw out your rhythm? And he said, no, it would not affect me. I think the general consensus to that answer was, yeah, right. He'd be thinking about it for days.
Sleepless nights.
Hit the line twice. Haas is going to have a look at it.
Right side near sideline. Ball is called in.
Looked like it took a piece of the line from up here.
It's a game with so much spin. It can look as if it's going out. Right until the very last moment, it can look as if it's going out. And then it drops viciously at the end. And there we go.
30 love. Haas with 2 challenges remaining. 30-15.
Very long serve. Fabulous backspin. This comes from growing up on the clay courts where the ball will really bite on the soft clay, so you develop the ability to spin. Look how viciously it comes underneath the ball. And when the ball bounces, it just dies, almost goes backwards. He's disappointed. He worked so hard to stay in that point. Forced his way back to the baseline, having defended. Got the shot he wanted.
Nadal. 1 game ball.
Tommy Haas flying the flag for Germany in the Australian Open now. They started with 11 players in the main draw, and Haas is the last remaining German player, the last remaining German man, I should say.